Okay, we are streaming. We are streaming now in this exact moment. We are streaming like crazy. Now, of course, the dog would want in. Of course, of course. Hey, everybody. Hello, everyone. Hang on. Now that I've started the live stream, I have to let the dog in. That's just how that happens. So, nice to see everyone. Hello, Chad, Delvis, David, and Mark. There we go. Hey, EVGMZ and Peter. Hello, Green Yeti. Hang on, I'll be right back. All right, right back. And I'm back. All right. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Project Dark Corp and Jason and Brandon Knight, Rezekai, Michael Bassett, Eric Amon, Rudy, Orderly Alley Viper. All right. Hope everybody's doing all right now. Comic Tropes, how do you do? Oh, did somebody give the live stream a thumbs down already? That's awesome. Hang on, I think I should change the name of the live stream. How about Yojo? There we go. That should save it. Okay, all right. Hello, Chad. Sorry if you're glitching. I'm working on it. Hang on. Okay. Oh, yeah, that is not working. Hey, can everybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? Hello, George Lopez. Yeah, this is not showing that it is working. Okay. All right, it looks like it's working now. Hey, Adam Airwolf. How do you do? David Sharp, Rob M. Hey, the gang's all here. Hi, Gaz. Robert Perky, Yorktown Joe. Oh, and somebody's from Guatemala. Hello, Guatemala from the United States. Okay, sorry if we got glitchy there for a second. Thank you, Mark. I'm glad you were able to hear me. I wasn't sure that this was working. So, yes, we're back for another live stream. Nice to see everyone. I'm seeing a lot of familiar names. It's nice to see each of you guys every week. Kaylee asks, or says, hey there, did you hear about the Star Wars Retro Collection coming soon? Yes, I did hear about that. It is interesting, and I will keep an eye on it. I'm interested in seeing what it does, if anything, to vintage collecting. Thank you, Comic Tropes. I love your channel as well. I try to keep up with all of your reviews each week. I especially love the Golden Age comics. Golden Age comics are just too wacky. Hello, action figure expert. Yeah, so I got stuff to talk about, including some G.I. Joe stuff. But first, I thought I'd give everybody a minute, see who all shows up. Beta Ray Bob, nice to see you. So yeah, so thanks everyone for showing up, and now the dog's barking again, but you know what, she can just chill over there. I wanted to start by apologizing because I feel that the quality of my work hasn't been quite up to par. there are a couple of mistakes in the Watchtower video to the point where I'm gonna have to correct it. It's at some point when I actually have the time to do it. Um, but also, besides that, I've got a video coming up tomorrow. And as I was editing, I realized that there was something wonky with my recording equipment, so the audio is all weird. So I don't know what's up with my video quality lately, but I'm going to get that fixed because that is important to me. I want to give you guys a quality product, but I'm going to blame it on taking a week off. I took a week off for my birthday, and it just a disaster after that. I just can't take time off. I don't actually enjoy the time off as much as I would expect, and it's hard to get back into the routine. So I'm only going to take time off when I absolutely have to, and there will be some times this year when I will have to take some time off, it's just not good. It's not good for me. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. Comic Tropes asks, "Who's your fave GI Joe comics artist?" From the Marvel run, I think my favorite was Ron Wagner. Really like his artwork, his style, and I just think he's really really solid. That's my favorite era. Oh, Adam Airwolves asks what I'm drinking. Susan got like a 6-pack of like a different sample beers. She got this for me. It was a birthday thing. I haven't tried this one yet. This one is called Sam Smith. It's organic pale ale. It says it's a product of the UK, and it says it's fermented in stone Yorkshire squares. And I don't know what that means. It could mean it's fermented in stone squares in Yorkshire, or it could mean that Yorkshire is a type of stone square. But at any rate, it's all right. It's not bad. It's a little bit floral, and it's organic, which I think means it has organs in it. But I'm gonna try not to drink too much of it because I don't like to belch on live streams. If I drink too much beer, I'll start to burp, and I don't want to do that. So I'll try to keep that to a minimum. Mark is drinking Mountain Dew. Well, very good, Mountain Dew. Michael Bassett, thoughts on Todd McFarlane's run on G.I. Joe? I know his Snake Eyes was redo of Spider-Man. However, he did some awesome artwork. The only one that I've actually seen was his penciling or his artwork on issue number 60, and that was not my favorite. I didn't think it was quite up to par, but I think that was kind of before Todd McFarlane sort of settled into his style. But yeah, it wasn't my favorite. But that's the only Todd McFarlane Joe artwork that I know of. Although I have seen that Snake Eyes with the Spider-Man pose, and Snake Eyes is sort of the closest GI Joe has to a superhero. With that, his uniform is almost like a costume. Hello, Lance. Nice to see you. Robert, giving up soda is a good idea. That's much healthier. Zombie beer is good for you. I'm sure it is. Machete from Sigma 6. I'm not very familiar with Sigma. I mean, I'm familiar with Sigma 6 in a general way. Lance, I did get the painting, and I will show the painting on the next donation unboxing video. I've got a lot of stuff from March that I am going to show in early August, so I can show everything that I got in March. Thank you for that, Lance. That was really cool, and I can't wait to show everyone. But I will be showing everyone in the next donation unboxing video, and it's really big. So, like, I had to go to the office desk to pick it up because they didn't have a box big enough to put it in. Johan says G.I. Joe Resolute has best and most close to comic book version of Cobra Commander. Resolute has a lot of cool things going for it. Resolute was pretty well thought out. It was really good. Um, Hoodie, I just said August. When did I say August? What did I say August about? Anyway, Brandon, yeah, I haven't had time to read a whole lot of them, but I will be digging into those, especially the Sergeant Rocks. And thank you for sending that. That was very nice. Count how many animation errors in the GI Joe cartoon. There were a lot of animation errors. Even in the Sunbow series, there were plenty of them. If you watch it, you'll spot them. Some of them are subtle, others are more glaring. LS Greger says, "What's the goal of your collection? Will we ever be able to visit the HCC788 museum?" My goal is just to get everything from 1982 to 1994, U.S. domestic releases only, and a sampling of other things. Like, I have a few non-U.S. stuff, and I have a few of the 12-inch figures, but I'm trying to keep it within that scope. As for a museum, I would love that. I hadn't actually thought of that before, so we may have to just, work on some museum plans. I think that would be fun. I mean, there are a couple of guys who've done that kind of thing. There's an action figure and toy museum here in Oklahoma, out in Paul's Valley, that I visited once, and that's just like that dude's collection, but it's huge. And they got a space for it, a building for it, and they made a museum out of it, and it's kind of fun. Yes, I have Holly Golightly on my wall. Susan is a big fan of Audrey Hepburn. So we have, just around the house, we have different Audrey Hepburn stuff. That's her thing. Audrey Hepburn for her and G.I. Joe for me. It's an interesting contrast. Ah. Michael Bassett has got to make supper. Well, make it good. Was at his parents' house Saturday, and lo and behold, they handed me a plastic tote that contained the Crusader shuttle. It's filthy, but appears to be complete. That's awesome. That is really cool. It would be so cool if, like, my parents were to discover an old cache of GI Joe toys like that for me. But that's never going to happen. So congratulations on getting that time capsule. That's really cool. Beta Ray Bob says, any news on the Hasbro search for a brand manager for GI Joe? I haven't heard anything. And of course, everybody has suggested everybody else to do it, and some folks have even suggested that I apply for it. I'm not qualified for it, for one thing. But if I got that job, I don't think anybody would be happy about that, because if I were to think about GI Joe's vision for the future, it probably is very different from what a lot of adult collectors would prefer to see. So I don't think I'd be super popular at that position. Let's see. Watch Timmer's Rob M. I watched Timmer's Skydiver video from January. Now I can't help but think how Night Force Crazy Legs head would look on Beachhead version 1's body. Well, maybe I can try that when I get around to the Night Force Crazy Legs review. But I got to do the Crazy Legs version 1 review before I can get to the Night Force version. It's an informal rule on the channel that I try to review the first version of a figure before I review subsequent versions. And I don't have to review them all in order, but I try to review the first version first. And I haven't gotten to the first version of Crazy Legs first. I would like to, though. Excuse me. See, there's that burping. I apologize. I apologize. Excuse me. Oh, Mark has a 5th anniversary gift. Going to send it in April. Thank you very much. And that does remind me, yeah, the 5th anniversary of the channel is coming up soon. I do have an idea for it. It's coming up really soon, so I better do something about my idea before it's too late. But I do have something special I would like to do for the 5th anniversary. Yeah, 5th anniversary is coming up in the middle of next month, which is not very far away. Banditone says, I picked up a Project Sky Striker at Vintage Toy Mall last week. Wings, landing gear, all functional and good shape. Have found most of the missing pieces online. Good. There are some pieces of the Sky Striker that are harder to find than others. I found it very difficult to find an intact canopy. The canopy seems to be a tough one. And of course, like the parachutes, but it's a fun project. That'll be a fun project to do. Eric asks if I'd done version 1 Quick Kick or Dusty. I have. The Quick Kick, I don't know. The Quick Kick review was far enough back that could be one that might be eligible for a redo. Yeah, I have covered both of those. Renegade Biker, thinking about going to Joe Fest, but wondering if I was going alone. I am not going alone. I'm taking pretty much the whole family with me, so we're making a family trip of it. So you found I'm sorry, still following up Banditone's Sky Striker comments. Got the hull cheap enough, didn't mind buying an eBay canopy. Good. I'm glad you're able to find a canopy on eBay. Back when I got my first Sky Striker, I couldn't find one. So I'm glad you were able to find one. So anyway, yeah, I'm just trying to keep up with you guys in the chat. You guys go so fast. Green Yeti, yes, Mrs. HCC will be at Joe Fest. That is the plan. I was thinking of like showing you guys the stuff I have like around me, all the clutter I have, but it's basically the same stuff as last week. Except I got stuff right here that I can't show you because it's for an upcoming review, and I don't want to spoil the surprise. But I will say, if you have been in any way unsatisfied with the last review and the recent videos, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. The next review that's coming up is a pretty big one, and we're going to have a guest. So it's going to be, I think it's going to make up for any deficiencies in the recent videos. That's what I'm saying. At least I hope so. Yeah, looking forward to it, Green Yeti. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be a really big, very busy week, Joe Fest. For those of you who don't know, Joe Fest will be in Augusta, Georgia in June on the 21st, 22nd. 21st, 22nd, right? I keep getting it mixed up and thinking it's like the 20th, 21st. Or maybe it is the 20th, 21st. Anyway, either 20th and 21st or the 21st and 22nd in Augusta, Georgia. So everything, we're just trying to get everything geared up to make it to that. Hey, is Transformers and Video Games. That's another great YouTube channel. Make sure you check that out, especially if you like Transformers. Transformers and Video Games, I have a question to ask you. Are you the one who reviewed like the knockoff Megatron, the little pistol, like the knockoff Transformer? Was that your video? Or am I mixing you up with somebody else? James Howard, I have not yet done the Cobra Hurricane VTOL. I have most of it though. I do have actually most of it. Not quite ready to go yet, but I haven't done a review of it yet. I'll get to it in the future. I look forward to getting to it. It's a really interesting toy, so I hope I can get to it soon. Delvis, yeah. Okay. The Watchtower. There are two things that I thought of when I thought of reviewing the Watchtower. Yes, Transformers and Beer. That's the one I'm referring to. The reason I brought it up is because I had that one as a kid. Well, not that specific one, but I didn't have like the real Megatron. We had some cheapy version of the one that you showed. And I remember all the little bullets that came with it and all of that. That was our substitute Megatron. What was I saying? Oh, Watchtower. Okay, I had two ideas for the Watchtower. One was, of course, Jimi Hendrix. So it seems kind of obvious that I should include the Jimi Hendrix song. And then the other thing I could think of was Watchtower magazine. So I got the idea, so we'll go door to door, sharing the Watchtower. But then I discovered apparently you can't use any part of a Jimi Hendrix song on YouTube because they will flag it. So that nixed the idea of using the Jimi Hendrix song. That was right out. Anyway, so yeah, so those were my ideas, but only one of them worked. Robert Hawkins mentions the Norway millionaire with 25,000 snow serpents. Is that still going on? Is that guy still doing that? I know years ago there was that guy that was hoarding snow serpents. But I don't know if he's still doing it. Yeah, Transformers and video games. Yeah, we liked it. I thought it was cool. I might have liked it more than like the real Megatron. Of course, I didn't have a real Megatron to compare it to, but we liked it well enough. And of course, I was mainly into GI Joe, but we played Transformers sometimes. Yeah, that was not bad for a substitute Megatron. Thank you, Brandon. Joe Fest is the 21st and 22nd. June 21st, 22nd in Augusta, Georgia. Come and see me there. So yeah, oh, Shane wants to see a review of the Battle Wagon sometimes. Well, I got good news for you, James. I do have the Battle Wagon complete. The only thing wrong with it is there is one broken part. And I haven't decided if it's worth trying to get that part before doing the review or not. So I don't know, but I do have it. I have all the missiles, and it has a lot of missiles. I have not tested it to see if it works, but I don't have any reason to think that it wouldn't. So, anyway, the point is I have it, but I don't actually haven't decided if it's ready for review yet. I'm thinking about it. Beta Ray Bob says, are they planning to do a Joe Fest 2020? I don't think they're that far ahead yet. I don't think they're planning quite that far ahead. At least I haven't heard of it. Mark says, when redoing Quick Kick, don't look at his bare feet. I'll try not to. but they're hard to ignore. So yeah, so videos are getting better. I swear to God, videos are going to get better. Lazarus says, "What am I thinking? What am I drinking? Sorry. See, apparently I'm drinking too much. I'm drinking this thing called Sam Smith. It's a product of the UK, and it was fermented in some Yorkshire puddings." So, um, yeah. So anyway, thanks everyone for showing up. I really should not have started drinking this. Actually, I must set that aside for now. Let that be for a while. Um, so, oh, I don't have it here. Recently, I did pick up a few things. Recently, I got like the GI Joe dog tags, like the one that has like the single metal dog tag, and then it has like a little name card with it. So I did pick that up, but I don't have it with me. I think I've been using it kind of as a lanyard for my ID badge at work. So I don't have it handy. Um, Thanks, Heatherberger. Yeah, Hebrew. Quick Kick would have got frostbite, lost his toes after the first episode. Yes, let's not forget that shoeless Quick Kick first appeared in the snow in the animated series. All right. So, man, I really wish I could tell you guys what's coming up. So there is a video tomorrow. Okay. Now, please be patient with this video because after everything was recorded, I discovered that apparently there was a problem with something, with the microphone or something. So, like, the first part, the audio for the first part of the video is not great, but it does get better. And I've recorded another video with same microphone, and everything was fine. So, yeah, so apologies all around. Dagon is tired. Well, take a nap. Take a nap. Yeah, Robert, he had no coat. Basically, he was dressed as the figure was, half naked with no shirt, no shoes, and they put him in the snow. That doesn't make any sense. Although, he was in the snow in the 1987 movie, but they put a coat on him. At least they went off model enough for the movie to put a coat on him when he's in the snow. You got to do that kind of thing because it's distracting. Um, yeah, Quick Kick had a coat on in the movie. Yeah, and there are things about Quick Kick that I like. That's one reason why I would think about redoing that review. I don't know. It might not be one to redo, but I'd think about it because I'd like to point out a few things. Excuse me, a few more things about Quick Kick that I like. I may not be enough to overcome, the bare feet, but I think about it. Um, I'm interested in these characters that were martial arts experts, but they were not ninjas. Ninja became a little bit of a cliche, especially in like the late '80s, early '90s. Quick Kick was not a ninja, neither was Scarlet, but they had no problem going up against ninjas, though. They were not intimidated, and that's one thing that I kind of like. Um, you got to be real careful with something like ninjas because they can be not just overused, but they can be almost like magical, like impossible to beat. They can just magically beat everyone. Um, so I do appreciate sometimes when a character that's not a ninja will go up against a ninja and take them down a peg. Oh, Transformers and video games had to settle for Quick Kick instead of Storm Shadow. Well, now that's a tough one. Okay, that's a tough one. And Quick Kick has a lot of things going for him. Okay, and I know Quick Kick has a lot of fans out there. And if you like Quick Kick, I'm so glad that you like Quick Kick. You keep on liking Quick Kick. However, Quick Kick versus Storm Shadow, it's hard to beat Storm Shadow. Mark says, "Have I heard from Byron?" I Byron left a comment on the most recent video, but come to think of it, I haven't heard from him since then. That's a good question. Why don't I text Byron right now? Hello, Human Mechanism. Nice to see you. Human Mechanism says, didn't they have give Scarlet a ninja themed figure at one point? They put her in Ninja Force, but she was. This is why Ninja Force doesn't make a lot of sense. She wasn't really a ninja. And the comic book made a point of saying she's not a ninja. That they made her an honorary ninja. Let's see. Let's see how Byron's doing. Hope he's doing well. Let's see. Hey, everyone in live Strian is doing well. There. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, what'd I miss? James Clark, I just hope Quick Kick washes between his toes. This is a problem. This is something I can't get around with Quick Kick, is that, he's going to go out there into the field. He's going to go out there and fight. And he's got no shoes on. So, any stray, nail on the ground or broken piece of glass, and, he's going to cut his foot up and get an infection. He's going to die. Let's see. Hoodie, familiar with the Toy Fair exclusive 2-pack Snake Eyes and Scarlet from early 2000s, repaints of version 1 furnished new figures. Excuse me. They are amazing. I don't remember if I've seen those or not. I'll have to look them up. There have been some nice repaints of the O-ring figures, so I can imagine that some modest repaints would make them look pretty good. Michael Dudikoff was excellent in American Ninja. American Ninja. Yeah. No, as a kid, I loved those ninja movies. Man, I was into those ninja movies. Now, my parents didn't like me to watch a lot of the ninja movies because they were rated R. Most of them anyway. So I didn't get to watch the ninja movies as much as I wanted to, but I can tell you every time they were on TV, and if I could sneak it, I would watch ninja movies. Now, they had no problem with me watching, Rambo movies, because he was, shooting communists, and that was okay. Oh, Lazarus sends $25. Thank you, Lazarus, and he says, keep drinking that crazy beer of yours. Okay, all right. All right, fair enough. But if I end up burping on the microphone, first of all, I apologize. And second of all, now you have to blame it on Lazarus. So I'm going to keep drinking this beer that has the organs in it. Adam, Chuck Norris did a movie called, I think it was The Octagon, and I remember liking that one. And just whatever ninja movies that I could watch without getting in trouble. Beverly Hills Ninja. All right. Good one, Chad. Yeah, don't miss Beverly Hills Ninja. Thank you again, Lazarus. Mark says we need an ice cream soldier chant. What would that be? Be like hot fudge, hot fudge, hot fudge. Jim Cotta. Oh, Jim Cotta. Jim Cotta is one of my favorite bad movies. Jim Cotta is hilarious. Uh, yeah. No, like sometimes like when we're watching the Olympics, and watching the gymnastics, and somebody does like a some kind of a spectacular finish, either me or Susan will say Jim Cotta. Uh, yeah, Matt says an ice cream soldier chant would be set to the music of an ice cream truck. Yeah, yes, yes, we can work that in. Ah, oh yeah, yeah. Sometimes they did that on MST3K. Yeah, Jim Cotta, but I don't think they ever did an MST3K of the movie of Jim Cotta. That would have been a good one though. Maybe they couldn't get the rights to it, but I'd love to see that movie riffed. It's hilarious. So yeah, they didn't do the movie. I don't know if Rift Tracks did or not, but that's one that I would really enjoy seeing Rift. Hold on one second. I'll make sure that I'm remembering a name correctly. Haven't heard back from Byron yet, though. Byron, if you're out there, I hope you're doing well. Anyway, sorry. Sorry, distracted. I'm back, and I'm back now. Um, Hiba. The women from prehistoric planet. I have I have a hard time watching that episode just because I have a hard time with the movie. Yeah, whatever reason Byron has for not being here, I'm sure it's a good reason. But yeah, Byron's been a friend of the channel for a long, long time. So I'll check back in on him later. I don't want to be nosy. I don't like to be nosy, but inquisitive. Um, so yeah, I should probably think of more GI Joe stuff to talk about. This is a GI Joe live stream, right? What I got around here? I got this. This is here's something really interesting to talk about. It's one of those plastic bubbles with the red backing. You know, the ones that the figures came in with the vehicles. So let's discuss that. Oh, Hebro sends $5 super chat. Thank you, Hebro. Says, hey, Hoodie, what do you think of the Night of the Lepus? Or, yeah, Lepus. Have you ever seen that one on MST3K? That's the one with, um, it's the rabbits, right? The little bunnies, like the evil rabbit. Yeah, the killer rabbits. Yeah, what a weird movie. That movie looked like somebody's college project or something. I mean, it's funny, you can laugh at it, but what a weird movie. um, it's weird. Yeah, the DeForest Kelly. Yeah, he was in that one. Was that the one DeForest Kelly was in? Weird, strange. Um, That's all I can remember about it. Is it was kind of nutso. Um, yeah, yeah, the killer rabbits. Yeah, there were some weird movies out there. Some of the best movies are bad movies. I mean, you find a really good bad movie, and you just want to watch it over and over. There are bad movies too. I mean, a bad movie is like a super boring movie. Um, but there are some really fantastic bad movies out there that I love watching over and over. Hell Comes to Frogtown. Um, Obscurus Lupa reviewed Hell Comes to Frogtown. That's another really weird one. Uh, how about we talk about Star Brigade from G.I. Joe? Star Brigade from G.I. Joe. I don't have any Star Brigade around me right now. Star Brigade, interesting thing. It had aliens, it had spaceships. A lot of it was just, reissues of older toys, but it had some stuff in it. It was in the comic book. Larry Hama actually included Star Brigade in the comic books. Oh, thank you, WWJD85. I'm glad you liked the opening for the Watchtower. It's the only thing I could think of other than Jimi Hendrix, and I couldn't use Jimi Hendrix because video got flagged. Chud. I'm sorry. You guys are throwing out a bunch of bad movies, most of which I have seen and are hilarious. So you guys are distracting me with some of my favorite bad movies. Ellis Greer says, I watched Riff Tracks do a simulcast to a local theater, Riff Samurai Cops. It was great. Yeah, Samurai Cop would be a great one. Samurai Cop is one of those really great bad movies. I went to a couple Riff Track theater presentations. We went, which one? Oh, we went to their riff of The Room, hilarious. We also went to their showing of Time Chasers, which is one of our favorite MST3K episodes. But I love Time Chasers. Every once in a while, I just have to go back and watch Time Chasers. Chad says, "Do I have the GI Joe versus Transformers Marvel miniseries?" I do. In the giant set of comic books that was sent to me a couple months or so ago, it included that series. So I do have that series. Also, I read the series when it first came out. I don't remember it super well, but I know that I read it. Brandon Knight brings up Space Mutiny. That's another one of our favorites. In fact, Space Mutiny I think is one of Susan's favorites. She really enjoys that one. Mutiny is one of the classics. Every live stream we do this. We end up talking about movies and not GI Joe movies. But if you're going to talk about Space Mutiny and Mystery Science Theater 3000, I'm just gonna go down that rabbit hole with you because I love those things. Laser Blast. Thanks. Uh, Manos: The Hands of Fate is definitely a bad movie, but it's bad in a way that just makes you feel dirty. I mean, the movie just feels like filthy. Um, I have a hard time watching that, but that is a legitimately horrible movie. Uh, so Lazarus says, I still believe we're going to beat 9K this year. Um, Are you referring to subscribers 9K? Like this channel? I think we can get 9K. Dullborg Toy says we should have had Joe figures made out of Red Dawn characters. Really interesting you should say that. That was kind of the inspiration for our customized characters when we were kids. We made our own team called the Wolverines. Yeah, we did some customs, except they weren't really custom like movie characters. We customized our own characters and made our own team out of them. Yeah, Lazarus, I feel like we can do 9,000 this year. I feel good about it. Fat Cat, any word on the G.I. Joe flick? Not anything since the last time we heard something. They were looking for a cast, and they were looking to start shooting this summer, which seems like a really quick time frame to get all of that done. So, you know, yeah, I haven't heard anything since then. I've been trying to keep my eye out for news. I don't think I've missed anything, but yeah, only G.I. Joe is G.I. Joe, which is true. Logically, that is true. That, logically, A equals A, right? So therefore, only G.I. Joe is G.I. Joe, QED. Mark Hogue is reviewing Shooter for the last week of Women's Month. Okay, Mark Hogue has been doing some reviews of female action figures on his channel for the month, for Women's Month. So I'm going to send you guys over there to check them out. And he says he's going to review Shooter. Shooter is an interesting character that I don't know a lot about, obviously, because it's new. So I might check that out just so I can get some more information about the figure, because I don't really know that much about it, except that it's like based on the sort of phantom character from the first issue that was on the computer screen that had the code name Shooter. So it's based on that, but I don't know anything else about it, so I may check that out. Ellis Gregor says, are they going to do a Snake Eyes movie? Yes, that is the movie that is coming up next. That is the one they are working on. So we will see how that goes. I'm hopeful. I think it could turn out well. Certainly, the Bumblebee movie helped, revive the Transformers franchise, help give Transformers a new lease on life. So maybe the Snake Eyes solo movie can do that. That's what I'm hoping anyway. So I'm cautiously optimistic, but I haven't heard anything. I certainly haven't heard anything to give me a lot of hope for it. But I'll stay hopeful. Yes, L.S. Gregor, no Ray Park as Snake Eyes. That's correct. They are going to go back and do a younger Snake Eyes. So apparently we're going to see Snake Eyes unmasked, but he'll have to be younger, I guess. Fat Cat, I did like the Bumblebee movie. The Bumblebee movie did something that none of the previous Transformers movies was able to do, and that was make the characters seem human. Hebrew sends another $5. Says, "Hey Hoodie, do you think it would have been cool if they had made a Dusty with removable helmet for the original line?" Yeah, actually, I think that would have been awesome. Yeah, especially if they could have done it with keeping the Havelock on, like having that attached to a helmet. I would have been very happy with that. Yeah, that would have been cool. Transformers video game says, any idea why they don't sell Joes at retail anymore? I have my theories. They may not be popular theories, but I mean, the last two movies didn't do great. I mean, the Retaliation did a bit better, um, but it didn't drive a lot of kids to the toy stores. Um, this GI Joe is just not in the the popular conscience right now, um, and I, Hasbro is searching for something to do with the brand, and so maybe this Snake Eyes movie will spark something. But yeah, they just haven't been able to get anything going. And most of the stuff that they've produced, like the 50th anniversary stuff a couple years ago, has been more oriented to adult fans. It's a lot of reissues of the old toys. Some new figures, but with a lot of reused parts. A few new characters, but I mean, they're they're mostly selling to the same crowd. So uh, yeah, I think that Hasbro is searching for what to do with the brand. Um, so knock on wood, something will happen with the Snake Eyes movie to revive it. Now, having said that, I am a vintage GI Joe collector, so whether the new Snake Eyes movie is good or not, I still have my era of GI Joe, and so nothing can really, um, take that away. Plastic Battle says they just hired a new brand manager, so there you go. There's the answer to that question. So that's something. So we'll just have to see what kind of vision they have. Chad says not sure how parents would react to military violence in a film like a good GI Joe movie would have. People keep saying that, but there's every bit of that violence in the Avengers movies, and all this Marvel stuff has as much violence as you would expect to see in a GI Joe movie, and a lot of it is military themed. Nobody seems to have a problem with that, so I don't think that's it. I don't think that's the catch. Yes, it's a giant beer, but I'm almost done with it. I don't know if I'll finish by the end of this live stream, but there you go. Plastic Battle says my feeling is they're going to go with a more fun route with the brand, a la Guardians of the Galaxy, less gritty realism. They may. That might be a mistake, because if you it's copying. Not everyone. I mean, I love the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, but not everyone can produce movies of that type that are that good. And we're seeing some movies that are trying to copy it with varying levels of success. But not everybody has James Gunn on the other side of the camera, so I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, we did talk about GI Joe. See, this is a GI Joe live stream. Yeah. Um. Oh, GI Joe reviewer 41 says Yo Joe, Yo Joe, right back. Um. So yeah, a lot of speculation about the movie, and I'm going. I hope it's good. Um, and the measure of whether or not it's good is not necessarily whether I personally like it. I may or I may not. But I have to give them some space to experiment. And the measure of whether it's a good movie will be whether or not a mainstream audience will accept it and like it and buy tickets and go see it. So if they can do that by making a light-hearted romp, then I will not criticize them for that. If they're successful, if they do a good job at it, then great. I'm not going to sling mud at them because it doesn't turn out to be something that I personally would prefer. Because, like I said, I have my era of G.I. Joe. Nothing they can do is going to take that away. My era is in the books already. So, uh, this is mainly for the next generation. It's not really for me. So, if they can capture the next generation of fans, then more power to them. Mark says, "Would I guest appear on his channel sometime?" Yeah, send me a private message and we can try to work that out. It just kind of all depends on how much time I have. I can't all. I don't always have the time to uh, appear in other people's videos, but it is something I like to do. So if we can work out the schedule, we can talk about it. Let's see. The orderly alley viper says, "Oh, he's talking to Hebrew. I think so. I heard they lost some. They shipped them. Oh, you're talking about the molds, like the molds for the old figures. Yeah, some of those were lost. I think when they did like the Stars and Stripes series, where they were like gonna redo all of the classic figures. I think that's when they discovered that they don't have some of those old molds anymore, and that's why that series turned out like all weird with figures that look nothing like the original. Um, yeah, some of the old molds are lost forever. I guess. I mean, I guess they could recast some molds, but that's expensive. And the whole idea um, of using the old molds and redoing the old figures is you don't have to get new tooling. You can just use the old tooling. So you know Ellis Grigger, I loved the G.I. Joe episode on the toys that made us. Me too. I thought that was really cool. It was nice to see uh, Kirk and Larry and all the guys talking about how they, launched that series, which was really cool. Um, uh, Larry Hama recently, well, not that recently, but he posted something on Facebook that he didn't feel like doing interviews anymore because people ask him the same question over and over, and I can understand that. That's got to get tedious. But if he did an interview, I think I have a few questions that he's not asked a lot, and it's not like you know questions about the minutia of the issues. I think I have broader questions that are you know not asked of him quite as much. Peter Ang, I think I saw Cobra Commander face on the moon. Everyone, that's funny. Yes, that's from the cartoon. Cobra Commander had the brilliant plan to carve his own face on the moon. Except not his face. It wasn't his face. It was his masked face, like the Hood face. Which it's hilarious. It makes no sense. Lazarus says, "What would I ask?" I would like one thing that he said. The reason I brought this up is in that episode of the Toys That Made Us. He talked about how he thought it was morally bankrupt to show war without death. I have some questions about that, and I'd like him to expand on that a little bit and talk about his thought processes for that. I think I understand it. I think I do, and I think maybe Larry and I are pretty close to being on um, the same wavelength. So, um, so I'd like to dig deeper into his thoughts about that. I'd also like to ask him a few questions about issue 155, the letter to Snake Eyes, because that issue is just so unique. Um, so I have some thoughts about that and some things that I'd like to ask him about. Mark says 10 more subscribers and he'll do a special review. So everyone, Mark gets 10 more subscribers. He will do a special review. I'm already subscribed, so I can't subscribe again. Kaylee says, any favorite custom Joe figures? Not right off the top of my head. I've seen some really cool customs, but I'm not sure I have a favorite. WWJD says, can I share a link to an acapella version of the G.I. Joe theme? Yeah, go ahead and share that. Hopefully it won't get blocked here. Share it. I will watch it later. I'll watch it after we're done here. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing an acapella version of the G.I. Joe theme. Yeah, go ahead and share that with us. Please share with the class. Yeah, Chad, the lack of war-related deaths might give a fun outlook to war. That's kind of what I think. And that's something that you have to be really cautious about. If you're doing a war-themed, anything for children, is giving the impression that, war is all fun and games. But I'd like to talk to him about that. I am really interested. Oh, I'm sorry. I missed Transformers and video games question. What is your opinion on the Generation Hall of Fame 12-inch Cobra Commander? Like the Hall of Fame, like the one I got over. Hold on, this one. Are you referring to this Cobra Commander? Sorry, let me cover up. Oh, sorry, that's backwards. I'm not a 12-inch fan. I mean, I like the 1960s 12-inch figures, and some of the 70s stuff I've seen was pretty cool. But the Hall of Fame line in general, while it has some merit and is interesting in some ways, it has some problems. It's far from perfect. It's like, for one thing, Cobra Commander can goose step, but that's all. The articulation is surprisingly lacking for 12-inch figures. Now, some of them I really like to look for. Like, I really like this Stalker here. I like the black. I like the camouflage. I think the head sculpt looks really well. But yeah, we're missing a few joints. Yeah, it's definitely not something that's within the scope of my collection. But like a few other things, I have a couple samples of them. Yeah, it's my feelings are complicated about that issue. But it looks like we have reached the 8 o'clock mark. So, Lazarus says, stay till I finish my beer. Okay, fair enough. I'll stay till I finish my beer. There's not very much left. We'll go extra late tonight. Because Lazarus sent a super chat and told me to drink the beer, and now he tells me I gotta finish it. This is a lot of beer. How much is this? How much is in here? I don't know. I can't read now. Drinking the beer has taken my ability to read English. Oh, here it explains the Yorkshire squares. Stone Yorkshire squares. Full-bodied, rounded palate. How does it get a rounded palate if it's fermented in squares? Huh? Hello, JoeFan82. Nice to see you here. Yeah, don't go flying the Sky Striker after drinking all that. Yeah, we're in for the evening, not going anywhere. Yeah, it's nice to have JoeFan82 here. We've got a pretty good crowd tonight. Thanks everyone for showing up. Again, this is always the highlight of my week, is just hanging out here and talking with you guys. And the conversation goes in a lot of different directions, but it's always a lot of fun. We did not see Byron tonight, so I hope Byron is doing all right. I will check in with him. I usually hear from him, semi frequently, so I'm sure I'll hear something. No USS flag driving. Look, you run one aircraft carrier into one lighthouse, and people never let you hear the end of it. Ah, Joe Fan says when I get to 100,000 subscribers, he'll be doing a special review. Good, good. I look forward to that. I will. You know what? What the hell? I will also do a special review when I get to 100,000 subscribers. Absolutely. So, but if the pace keeps up, we ought to make it to 10,000 this year. So I've been thinking about what kind of play button would be appropriate for 10,000 subscribers. Of course, you get a silver play button for 100,000, but YouTube doesn't send you anything for 10,000. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my own play button. So for 10,000 subscribers, I feel it's appropriate to have a cardboard play button. So I'm going to make my own play button out of a pizza box. I'm going to put it up on my wall. It's going to say 10,000 subscribers. Congratulations to me. It's really not bad. This is a whole lot better than Timmer's favorite beer. That Stella Artois, that wasn't that good. This is not too bad. So fermenting it in some Yorkshire squares seems to do it some good. I'm almost done with it. I gotta finish the beer before I'm allowed to stop the live stream. Yeah, pizza box play button. See, I think that's appropriate. If 100,000 is silver, 10,000 ought to be about cardboard. I think. Yeah, yeah. Renegade Biker would like to get what's it? Renegade Biker would like to at least get 1,000 subs. It can happen. Got to be persistent. Took me a long time to get to 1,000, and now I've got all you guys here, and so it's awesome because I enjoy talking to you. Not everybody watches every week, and that's normal. But we actually have a pretty high percentage of subscribers that watch every week on this channel, and that is really cool to me. And I'm very grateful about it. And then a lot of you guys show up here in the live stream, and I get to talk to you, and that's so that's the channel's going really well, is what I'm saying, and I appreciate all of you, and I thank you for it. Somebody said something about Stella Artois. Oh yeah, Matt Rubin. I never knew Stella Artois was beer until I took a sip. Yeah, I'm not sure it is beer. All right, that's it. That's the last of it. That's the last of it. All right, well, everyone, thank you. I am going to shut her down now because it's getting late here and I'm getting tired. But thanks, everyone, for showing up. What kind of articulation would the pizza box have? It's just kind of, pizza box. So thanks, everyone. We will do this again next week. Thanks for the super chats and everything. Thanks to everyone for showing up. There will be a video tomorrow. Again, I want to warn everyone: the audio in the first, 2/3 of the video, it was not great, and I had to try to fix it, but it's the best I could do. I promise it's not going to be like that all the time, but there will be a new video tomorrow, and the review for next week is already recorded and so you'll get your review next week on time. It's going to be something that is quite popular, I think. Nothing rare or obscure for this weekend. So we should be good to go. So, all right, I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. Thanks again for showing up, and we will do it again next week. And I will press this button here that says stop streaming, and I will say good night.